Behold, thou faithful, the visage of thy transformation. Fear not the journey when the portal opens. Become one with the wheel, with glad heart and cheerful countenance. For the doorway shall open for all in their time. Neither the rich nor the influential, neither the kings nor the rulers, neither the strong nor the powerful can escape its embrace. Berath will usher thee through the doorway, and thou wilt return to life. Thy mortal life began anew. There goes the cycle. There goes life. There thou goest also. What is up, you beautiful gamers, and welcome back to Role-Playing James. In today's Road to About lore video, we will be talking about Berath, and like always, I highly recommend you to watch The Gods of Eora if you haven't already, so you would have a little bit more context about it. With that being said, who is Berath?
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches. The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times.
I am Berath. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Berath has many manifestations, and people from around the world know her in their very own ideals from their culture. Some of these would be the Pale Knight, the Usher, the Twin God, and the Goddess of Death. Berath may be mistaken as well with Rimmergand. In their ideals, however, the real patron of death would be no other than Berath, since in Eora, death only means returning to the wheel. And it is Berath, the one that maintains order in the cycle of souls. The ideals related to Berath are those of cycles, doors, portals, mortality, death, and inevitability. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Berath, while the Balians know this very same god as Eora. For if nothing else, Berath teaches us that duality exists in all things. There is life and death, and there is death and life. Embrace this duality, and you honor Berath. In the ruins of Eora, Berath is depicted in the form of two semi-skeletal figures, one male and one female. Beunen I and New, and Unnew I Beunen, literally, life in death, and death in life. In the Glanfat and Thong, male and female, inside and outside, life and death. We often think of Berath by imagining two sides of a coin, or two endpoints of a journey. It is said that Berath has the most petitioners of every god, and this is likely true. Who amongst us has not prayed for the cycle to hiccup? Who has not, in a moment of sadness, yelled at Berath to make an exception for our fallen loved ones? Although while her ideals and interventions in the world grant her many pleas of divine help, there are not many cults that enforce Berath's authority in the mortal world. This is mostly because Berath, different from the other gods, hotly communicates with those who decide to follow her teachings of the Pale God. Most of Berath's priesthoods cluster around burial temples where the highest place in the hierarchy tends to be occupied by a dead godlike, being them the only fitting choice to carry the biddings and the preparations of the souls to be received by the Usher. Berath may not rescue our loved ones, but it answers our prayers in its own divine way. Berath is the god that makes life end up in death, and it is also the god that makes death end in life. Berath, Sirono, Beunen, Anu, Ibeunen, whichever of the many names you prefer to use, deserves our prayers, for it has given us the promise of life's eternal renewal. Berath will use a different manifestation to carry the beatings that demand her attention. The royal black armor, milky skin, obsidian hair, pale knight would find those who have tarried too long in her lord's road and demand an impossible toll from them. There are those brave enough to fight her, then will find themselves killed by their very own hands. Those who flee from her will end up facing the Usher, one of the many Berath manifestations. Through the centuries, many have depicted him in poems, fables, tales and parables as an older physical manifestation of the god of death. Sometimes he may be a dwarf, sometimes a simple man, and other times merely walking bones. The Usher takes the place of the Charon in Eora's mythology, the ferryman of the dead, the one who leads those souls through their new journey when they end up their previous one. There cannot be light without dark, nor good without evil. When the disturbances in the balance of life are found, their fun will be Berath as well, answering a call to order and to balance. Thou shalt approach the door, the inevitable shall approach thee. Do not turn back in the portal, do not turn back on new life. Walk the path and welcome change or face the night. For he walks the road with thee and will guide all to their destination. Thou mortal, the skull thou wilt become. Thou closed off, the key thou shalt turn. Thou sealed, the threshold thou shalt cross. With that being said, you beautiful, beautiful gamers, that would be all for today's Road to Avowed lore video. If you like the video, if you like the content, if you like this series, then do smash that like button, and also if you're interested in this, well, subscribe as well, why not? And if you're interested as well in this series, well, help RPJames share the word. Share this video with your friends and acquaintances that would like to know a little bit more about the world of Eora. With that being said, don't you ever forget that each and every single one of you are beautiful gamers. With that being said, I'll see you beautiful, beautiful gamers in the next one. Remember to stay safe, remember to stay awesome. I'll see you later.